Hey everybody, welcome to Thursday's Thoughts with Taylor Jones. This is episode 8 of season 9. No, I'm kidding. This is actually our second episode ever. Today we'll be going over last night's prospect game. I will have a few guests to interview, and as well, me and Slayer will be going over Cleety Coin real quick for you guys, in case you guys weren't able to catch the document that we had. Now, real quick, I'm going to give you a review of what we're going over today. We have Wednesday's prospect recap. We have the interviews. After that, CleeCoin and you. And then beyond that, I'm also going to bring up how this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have a trick shot contest for Cleety G. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be watching. Sounds like awesome footage. Now, Wednesday's night, last night's game at 10 p.m. Eastern, we had the orange team of Hella Beefy Taco, T4 Detronome, and Sick Rick Blast. And then on the opposite team, we had Underbred Boar, Floyd, and Tartness. So real quick, what happened that game? Uh, Beginning of the game, orange team had an intimidating pace, as well as definitely taking the game seriously. And looking at blue team, they just needed to rotate more, had a better defense. Beyond that, Floyd was showing good ball control, and Floyd and Tartness were showing some amazing teamwork. I'm not sure if they previously knew each other or if this was their first game together, but it was definitely interesting watching them work well together, especially at the very beginning of the game. Beyond that, Team 4, I'll call him T4. T4, I apologize. The T4 Detronome, but we'll call him T4. I might be saying his whole gamer tag wrong. I do apologize. But he had some scary good boost control. It was pretty interesting watching him maneuver his car. Game 1 went to Orange Team. Now, after that, into Game 2, Hella Beefy Taco makes clean passes, and T4 picked it up. It was very well utilized. It was nice watching Hella Beefy Taco and T4 work together as well. Uh, Almost like they had previous rapport, previous experience with each other. Now, Hella Beefy Taco makes clean shots the whole game, but what's nice to watch is when Hella Beefy Taco floats up, basically flying. It's not flying. I've seen flying, but goes from the bottom all the way to the top. You know what I mean? It was definitely nice to watch that. Tartness definitely makes quick beginning shots at the beginning of game 2. You know, going straight for the goal. But game 2 ends up going to orange again. Beyond that, blue team kicks it into overdrive right after winning or losing two of the matches. So blue team picks it up. Beyond that, Hella Beefy Taco shows some great patience in waiting for the ball, waiting for the opportunity for the block, and waiting for the opportunity for the shot. It was definitely nice watching Hella Beefy Taco just it's like he belongs here, you know? I know I've seen him a few times now. Uh, Definitely some clean work. And then game 3 went to blue. So they didn't get shut out. That was pretty awesome. After that, game 4, Sick Rick starts to pick it up. You know, really starts to be visible in the game. Orange team has a hella crazy strong early game presence. At that point, Tartness loses the ball to T4 off some sketchy pass work. T4 scores off of that. But following that, Tartness follows up with a solo redemption goal. Pretty easy, clean shot, but it was the fact that Tartness took it right after T4 scored off of him, took it from one side, and then just smashed it in there. Hella Beefy Taco with some more amazing car and boost control. And then game 4 goes to orange again. So if you ask me, for last night's 10 p.m. Eastern prospect game, Hell BV Taco was the MVP again. I know I'm almost positive I said that last stream, but it was definitely nice. Now, on to our interviews. We have DK Silk and Shammy. If you guys would like to do a quick introduction.
I am the owner.
That's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
And you, Shammy?
And you, Shammy? And I am Shammy, captain of Collision Course. Be my second season here with Cleety.
That's awesome. That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. That's awesome.
Now,
Now,
DK Silk, you're the franchise owner of Onslaught Gaming. See, awesome. And then Shammy, you're a Collision Course captain, correct?
correct.
That's pretty sweet. Now, I just had a few interviewing questions. Now, my very first question. I don't know if you guys have been watching the Cleety G news, but leaving towards the end of second season, going into third season, we'll be losing 3 teams as opposed to 2. Now, we were already going to lose Valaris and Trashenberg, and then due to recent developments, we are also losing the team of Cryptic. Now, we're not clear if we're going to keep all of the players or some of the players, but the team as a whole will be disbanded. Do you guys think this will affect the league or the overall attitude or timeliness or organization of the league? What are your thoughts on this by losing these 3 teams?
I don't think it's going to affect the league much. Well, I mean, it's because obviously we're gaining teams, but losing Cryptic, they haven't been around much of the last half of the season. So, and like I said, I don't think it's really going to affect us too much.
Mm-hmm. What about you, DK?
I'm pretty sure.
Interesting. What about Valaris? Neither of you two mentioned anything about Valaris.
It's hard to say that it's going to affect the league because we're adding teams. It's kind of hard to say what's going to happen to the league with these new teams coming in.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. Me personally, I feel like losing Valaris and Cryptic is going to affect us in a positive way, with our overall league attitude potentially, and then clearly just like the timeliness, because both of those teams, Valaris and Cryptic, had forfeits. Those were the only forfeits I heard about.
Very true.
Yeah. Trashenberg, I've heard a lot of good things about. I'm sad to lose them as a team, but as you
Me as
mentioned,
well.
we're gaining 4. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, me as well. I got drafted by them at season 2 there, and I liked that team. It was a good team, So it is kind of a bummer to lose them for sure.
Yeah. Well, as we all mentioned, losing 3, gaining 4. That's a positive of 1. I turn that out to be positive, Now, moving on to the next question. The Lords and Full Senders. They have the best regular season record. Now, do you guys have any thoughts on that? On how they achieved that regular season record? And do you think that we're going to see this reflected into our postseason games? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rocket League's a crazy game. I can't say I've seen too many games like it. With my limited game knowledge, only thing I could compare it to is FIFA, and that's obviously an easy comparison because they both have balls that look like soccer balls, But I've been playing a lot recently, and it's definitely nice watching other people with their ball control, their boost control. Uh, Car control and boost control are 2 things that impress me the most. But ball control is ridiculous. I've seen some professionals play the sport. on the obstacle courses, and it's definitely pretty awesome. Shami, what do you think?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Of course. So the Lords and Full Senders have the best regular season record. What do you think led to that? And do you think we'll see a reflection of that in the postseason games?
Well, I think definitely what led to that is great communication and great team play. I, for one, am on Full Cinders. Um, we just came all the way up. I can speak for us. We just came all the way up and just, we rotated in and out. A lot of comms, a lot of, challenging early, and just, try to keep that win loss, column on the win side. So, I think it's definitely going to pull over to the postseason. I think it's going to ramp up even more. Everybody is well seasoned right now.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice statement. Now, moving on to my next question. Now, I think both of you guys aren't. Are you too familiar with the player Bubba in our league?
Yes.
What about you, DK Silk? No. All right. Well, I'll give you a quick, my quick explanation of the player Bubba, and then I'll explain the question. Well, actually, the question is Bubba himself. What do you think? What value do you think this player brings? Because at the end of the day, what happened is the team Valaris, they had scheduling issues, they had forfeit issues, etc., leadership issues, to chop it up simply. And what happened is Bubba went from just a normal player to basically, not officially, a stand-in coach. Um, Bubba himself has a great attitude. Being a stand-in captain for Valaris, you almost had to be. But he would go. He would do. He would be a player and the stand-in captain simultaneously, as opposed to doing one or the other, which was really awesome. Multitasking, always a great thing for the league. But Bubba himself is actually first in saves in our league, as well as first in shot percentage for any player with more than 20 points total in the league. Beyond that, Bubba is also tied for third with Jotaro for the most scores, clocking in at 32 points. I think Bubba is a ridiculously awesome player to pick up, whether he's your first or your second. I think he's definitely your first or your second if that's how you run your team, not a third. I think he's very valuable with a player that could not only pick up the slack for you as a captain or a franchise owner if you need them to, but Bubba himself's already shown leadership skills. What do you think about that, Shammy?
I definitely agree with that. I played against him a few times, and you can just see that in his play. The way he plays, he's very smart. He doesn't try to do it all himself. He's always looking for his teammates, trying to set his teammates up rather than go for the solo play. And I think that, that right there just shows you the kind of mindset he has, and that just, flows over to the rest of, just who he is.
Yeah, that's a great answer. What about you, DK Silk? What do you think about Bubba? Mm-hmm. 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 I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. No, that's fair to say. That's fair to say. Um, all right. Well, we'll move on from that question. Me personally, I think Bubba is one of the best players to add to a team right now,
I
especially if
totally
you're looking to
agree.
build a new team.
I
Exactly.
totally agree.
Awesome. Now, this question is specifically for DK Silk. Your captain, DK Bedfast Trout. He's been captain for a full season now. If you mind me asking, what are your thoughts on his performance? Do you think he'll be able to make the cut next season? Mm-hmm. 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 Interesting answer. Interesting answer. It's nice to see how many different positions and moving parts we have in Cleety G, and more specifically the Rocket League, because we have people that are hands-on positions. We have player positions. We have franchise owner positions. All sorts of different roles you can have and still be a part of the community. I think it's pretty awesome to hear that answer. Now, moving on to my final question, and I actually asked around for this one. So, what is Rule 1 of Rocket League? DK Silk, what is Rule 1 of Rocket League? And what? No, you're cool, you're cool. And you, Shammy?
Man, I don't even know how to answer this question. Rule 1 of Rocket League. Dude, to have fun. That's the best answer I can give you.
All right, all right. Yeah, this last question was just kind of for fun. I actually got to ask around on our Discord publicly, and then I DM'd a handful of players. So, at the end of the day, Rule 1, according to the community, first answer and most accurate answer was done by Ronska, the current captain of Sky Decay's franchise and Sky Decay's team. I apologize. Ronska says, if you lock up with someone, neither of you can break it unless someone comes over and bumps or demos one of you. So that's the unofficial Rule 1 of Rocket League at the moment. And David Park replied with the original official Rule 1. The first rule was not letting the ball touch the ground at 0 seconds. Recently, most of history recognizes it as when you're locked up with another car to not break the lock until a goal is until a goal is scored or till the time runs out. Now, I had a few other interesting answers. Scott A's. I'm not actually going to read word for word what Scott A's said, but ad-libbing it was to take a poop before games so that you don't have to stop mid-game. Can you guys agree with that?
I actually want to change my answer to that one. I like that one.
Yeah, we definitely got some awesome people. Tayfish responds with, don't talk about Fight Club. I like that first rule. And then we also have I Do the Drew with a strong IDK, I don't know, as well as competent. If you're running into someone, don't back away from them. So I guess competent's pretty good at that game they call chicken. So, moving on from our interviews, that was DK Silk and Shammy. I really appreciate you guys showing up for our interview. Do you guys have any closing comments before we move on to our next subject? Alright, cool. You, Shammy?
Yeah, I'm down with that. Don't do drugs.
Cool. I hear stay in school.
There you go.
Yeah. Alright, now moving on to our next segment. It is me and Slayer here. Slayer, are you on the mic?
I am.
Awesome. So we're going to be moving on to this next segment, Cleety Coin and you. So, at the end of the day, I apologize, just getting my notes set up. So, Cleety Coin and you. We have this wonderful segment, or I'm sorry, we have a document that Slayer had took the time to type out. It is in our community segment of the Discord for the Rocket League, correct?
Yeah, it's under announcements.
Under announcements, my mistake, not community. So Cleety Coin, we next season will be moving on to Cleety Coin. All player contracts will be dealt with Cleety Coin. Now,
Even if my heads were to fly from my shoulders,
Cleety Coin is only redeemable at the moment of. I'm sorry.
When you win the finals.
Cleety-
It's only redeemable when you win the
Yes.
finals.
Yes, yes, and you are only able to redeem up to 3 prizes, correct?
Yes, per player.
Per player. Oh, all right. That's pretty awesome. Now rookies are going to cost a flat rate of 5k Cleety Coin, while other players will have a minimum cost based on their rank, correct?
Yes. Coming out of the draft, the idea is that you can be a steal. You can get your champ player, your grand champ player if you're lucky, and you don't have to pay them like that, at least coming right out of the draft. But after that first season, they will have a minimum based off of their rank. I believe it's going to be 5k between bronze and diamond, and 10k between champ and grand champ.
Interesting, interesting. It's going to be really interesting for us to see as a community how the franchises and teams manage their budget, if you will, correct?
Oh yes, for sure. It's gonna be it's a little bit more complex than what we've used in the past with the point cap system that we currently have in place till the end of the season. There's now a little bit more flexibility, in my opinion, on how you're gonna handle picking up players, drafting players, and building your team for the future. But if you've been here from season 1 into season 2, it's not a drastic change in my opinion. It is it is new. It is definitely new, but it isn't like if you had to manage the point cap system, I feel like it's still right up your alley.
All right, all right. Do you have anything else to add on about Cleety Coin at the moment?
No, I was gonna let you continue where you're going with it.
All right, all right. Now, let's see. I'm looking at my notes. Cleety Coin, do we have the prizes already predetermined for us to redeem with our Cleety Coin?
So we don't have anything publicly announced yet as far as what the prices are gonna be. But we're gonna have a flat conversion rate where I don't know what it's gonna be yet. It might be like 2 to 1, 3 to 1, something like that. But you'll be able to convert your Cleety Coins out if you win for Amazon, an Amazon gift card. The value depending on obviously how many coins you convert out. We will more than likely have a cap on how much you can get on a single gift card. Obviously, like I said, 3 prizes, so it'll probably be like. I don't want to shoot any numbers just because it hasn't been agreed on yet, but
Of course.
like it could be pretty nice. The system right now is set up so, in my opinion, it doesn't benefit teams winning every year. If a team's like repeating, the players are never gonna have enough coins to redeem the max size prizes. In my opinion, it would take multiple seasons of them either saving up coins or signing some really big deals to actually be able to redeem some of the top tier prizes. That's the plan with the system. So like ideally, you're a champ player, you're a grand champ, you think you can do it yourself. You have the opportunity, but you're taking that pay cut. You're not. You're taking that pay cut. You're sacrificing talent on your team. Essentially for a bigger payday, and then in the later on after you made that payday, then you're looking at taking a pay cut to win a title.
Of course, of course. Now, we also have cap penalties. As I'm reading over the document, All player deals include a cap penalty. If an active player is released before the deal is up, 40% of the deal is taken as a penalty against the team's cap. Now, with us going into Cleety Coin, that's just going to be Cleety Coin, correct? 40% of their Cleety Coin deal?
Yes. And that's
Uh-huh.
the new cap penalty system. It's supposed to help protect players and teams. So now the league will provide compensation for teams that have draft picks either sit out or bench themselves. We have had issues in the past, not so much with Rocket League, but in the past with other games where high tier draft picks just kind of like throw little pity parties because they're not on a team they want to be on. And now, if they do that, the penalty that's going to come with them is the team that loses them is going to get a pick out of it. And their re-signs to say they do get dropped because they're throwing this pity party. And a team goes to pick them up, they'll have an additional penalty, like an additional weight added onto them. Probably around 5K onto their minimum price because of the situation of how they left. And it's kind of similar
So
to
you
where,
mean the player would cost more if they left?
yeah, if they
something like
left
that?
if they left under that situation where they were benched and then released, or they bench themselves. If a player chooses to bench themselves and is released because of it, the team will be granted a pick in the upcoming draft, and that player will have a penalty onto their cost.
That's surely interesting. How did you come up with the idea of Cleety Coin?
It technically originated with the point cap system that we had in place. That's ultimately like where the root of the currency system came from. But we wanted a way to kind of offer, I guess, an arcade style reward system is what we were looking at, and then
It's almost
taking the
like our
point
own
system.
cryptocurrency, you know?
Yeah, I would compare it more to like arcade tickets. But
Alright.
in our arcade, you can only redeem your tickets when you win. You know you get the
Cool.
title. However many people are on your team, they're getting a payday. Well, regardless, they're getting a payday, but they have the opportunity to go
Yeah,
cash
and
those
then the
tickets
points
in.
are going to carry over next season.
Yeah, so that's where my big thing is, where I feel like a lot of teams a lot of players should take the opportunity for a bigger payday. Just don't sign a long-term deal. You know, play a season or two with a team that's willing to pay you, get your bread, and then go sign with a team that you feel gives you a better chance at a championship. And you never know, maybe the team that you get your bread with is also the team you do bring a title home. It's possible.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It honestly seems like it's better to play the long con, you know? To play
In
a
my
few
opinion,
seasons, get the points, and then build them up.
100%. In my
Or
opinion,
the Cleety
that's
coins, not the points.
probably going to be the way to go if you want a bigger prize. If you just want the titles, which is completely fine, we're all here to compete, so like I get like wanting the W more so than the payday. But if you're interested in rewards and prizes, I think the long-term game is what you're going to look at. You definitely need to win titles, obviously, to redeem prizes. But you need Cleety coins. You need Cleety coins. So if you don't have any Cleety coins, it's going to be kind of rough.
Alright. Now, do you have any examples of the structured player deals? I see a few examples on here.
Yeah, I was going to say there should be a few in the document, but the easiest way to put it is there's a base value that's paid at the end of each season. That is more team friendly than player friendly. If a player's traded, the base value is picked up by the team that they get traded to. You have a signing bonus, which is paid up front. That's more player friendly. So if you don't want to get traded, or you want a team to show some more commitment to you, a higher signing bonus is probably what you're gonna look at. And then you're gonna have an incentive bonus at will. You can only have one of those on a deal. That is also paid at the end
An
of the season.
incentive bonus. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Could you
That's
explain that a little?
Yeah, that's for reaching a specific stat or requirement that it was predetermined when the deal is signed. For some players, it might be based off of their availability. I know you look at Durtho, for example. He only played in 2 series. A team might look to give him a big payday, but only if he plays, 8 series out of 10 or something like that. 8 or better, he gets a bigger payday. The incentive bonus actually gets picked up. If he doesn't get it, then if he doesn't reach that goal, or maybe it's like score 30 goals in the season, so it could be a multitude of things like that. And
So,
go on.
so it says on the document that Cleety Coin has there's a cap set for each season. Now,
Yes.
is that on how much you spend on players, or is that how much you spend total as a franchise?
That's how
or team?
much the team or franchise has to spend in total. So I haven't gone over it too much yet, but teams will be able to pay anybody who wants to be a coach or a team manager in Cleety Coins as well. That's completely fine.
So I don't even have to play the game to get Cleety Coins. technically,
Nope.
Correct?
As long as you're part of the community, you would be able to get them. Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
In that situation, whatever team you're associated with at the time needs to win the title for you to be able to redeem them regardless. So you still want to be around a championship roster. But I think it gives people a little bit more opportunity. Like, you don't have to be the player. You don't have to be a top tier guy. I mean, even now, honestly, you don't have to be a top tier guy. But
All right. Now, that's about going to wrap it up for our Cleety Coin segment. Did you have anything else you'd like to add, Slayer?
not off the top of my head, no, I do not.
Awesome. And where again can we find this document for Cleety Coin?
It's going to be in the CGRL Discord under the announcements tab. I believe it's pinned in another tab somewhere else as well. But the announcements tab is probably going to be the easiest place to find it.
Awesome. And if you pull it up right now, it's one of the first things you see. I love that. Awesome. Now, moving on to our final part. I'm just going to be making a quick announcement for our this Sunday game at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have a trick shot contest for Cleety G. Rocket League, of course.
Yeah, it's going to be
I can't wait.
It's going to be a twos freestyle trick shot contest. It might be pushed back to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not 100% sure yet on the exact time. 8 p.m. is probably where it's projected at right now, though.
All right.
But yeah, in order to sign up, I'll have a channel set up for it in the Discord, and you and the person you're going to be playing with can just throw up an @ for your names to sign up. And I'll get you guys in for Sunday, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a lobby, and everybody can kind of just rotate in and out and compete on screen. I'll have judges in the lobby to give me scores, to help me generate scores based off of what we've seen. If you want to go ahead and take it away from here.
Well, that was about it. We're going to be wrapping up the second episode. Don't forget, Sunday is the trick shot contest. 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Feel free to just pay attention to our Discord and any of our future streams. I'm sure we'll update that if anything changes. You can follow ChristSlayer13 on their Discord with the Cleety G HQ Discord, as well as the Cleety G Rocket League Discord. Those are the only two I know about. I do apologize if there are more. And that it is Who is a Willix if you are interested in asking ChristSlayer any questions. I'm Danger Ranger on both of the Discords, and I do appreciate anybody who tuned into our second episode. Have a nice night.
Oh, before we do tune out, I had one question. When are we going to be on again?
Oh, my mistake. Next Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be our scheduled time every week. I will let anybody know in our Discord if there will be any changes, any postpones, any cancellations. But just go ahead and look for our stream every Thursday. Thank you very much, everybody. That was Thursday's Thoughts with Taylor Jones. Everybody have a nice one.